Pickaxe.
We need more Studio Ghibli inspiration in Dungeons & Dragons. So thank the gods the Wandering Tavern Kickstarter is live right now. Dive into a rich tapestry of storytelling that seamlessly blends the epic fantasy elements of D&D with the heartwarming magic of Studio Ghibli. The Wandering Tavern is a Kickstarter project brought to you by Homie and the Dude, the father-son-led TTRPG creation team that created Sky Zephyrs, the D&D vehicle combat system for both airship, underwater submarines, and land vehicles that funded in under 4 hours. And this is their next big thing. In the Wandering Tavern, you will be able to explore, interact, and tell amazing stories with your friends as you get immersed in this unique and fantastical location inspired by the whimsical works of Studio Ghibli. So be sure to click the link in the show notes to be a part of this incredible addition to your D&D campaign. The Wandering Tavern Kickstarter will include a huge, unique TTRPG agnostic setting that can be plugged into any D&D world. You get full setting history, 15 giant battle maps, 33 plug-and-play NPCs, 30 plot hooks, unique spirit mechanics, also more content and references from their previously funded Kickstarter. You get additional plug-and-play Zephyrs, Zephyr parts and stations, Sky Zephyr's Quickstarter guide. On top of that, you get 18 new magical items, 7 illegal trades, 13 setting-themed recipes, 3 downtime games to play with your party, 4 celebrations and holidays, all put together by 3 collaborators. The Wandering Tavern is open till May 2nd, so hop aboard while you can. Studio Ghibli awaits. Click the link down in the show notes to check it out, and be sure to show your support for these incredible third-party creators. They are truly keeping D&D alive, so be sure to click the link in the show notes and join in on this whimsical adventure. Welcome, cast and crew, back to Nocturne, A Curse of Strahd Tale. My name is Ryan McManus, and I will be your director for today. You can find me running the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D or on my personals at Ryan.McManus. And I am joined today by my full of brunch and turmoil cast and crew. We have Vince.
My name's Vince. I'm very full from brunch. I am playing Theren, the man of hope and retribution. You can find me at Jet and Pebbles on whatever socials you want to find me on, except for TikTok. I don't do the talk.
We'll get you someday.
Don't call it the talk.
And we have Christian.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian. I'm playing Tannis, a chain forged in blood. And you can find me on TikTok, because I do the talk, at captain.carlson. And you can find me on Instagram at cpt.carlson.
And finally, we have May.
Hi, I'm May. I'm playing Zielle, who is slaying in all meanings of the word, and I am also on TikTok. I'm pretty funny. You can follow me at May LaFay.
It's true.
And also Instagram and the other places.
All right, recap poem time.
Repap time.
Repap poem time.
Repap do doopy dap dap.
You all hopped in the carriage while talking mad shit. Music played through the interior as you decided this was it. This was your time for info. You'd deal with it calm and slow. You'd keep your hands to yourself and avoid putting on a show. The carriage made way, lifting straight off the ground, but only for a moment before stone the wheels did pound. You found yourselves in a courtyard atop a monstrous hill, a castle looming over you while fog and rain did chill. You decided you needed a code word, some sort of signal, for if shit goes belly up, Patagonia will do the trick. Oh. You made your way inside, but not before our boy Theren spotted a raven overhead, watching you like a Karen. Entering the looming castle, the elf guided your way, but you made no hesitation to begin wandering astray. You all gathered outside the large double doors that led straight into the dining hall, organ music blaring a haunting score, to find an illusion of Strahd, who said he'd be with you soon, to enjoy the appetizers and wine, and Vasily would shortly commune. You all found your seats after checking for poison, noticing the same set of crows taking a liking to you chosen. Zielle offered it an earring as it nodded in response. It would help you if you so needed, as Vasily brought in the croissants. JK, it was just some bread as he took orders for wine. Shy and timid Vasily found Zielle to be quite fine. Tannis took note and spoke with some scorn. With orders in hand, Vasily left after he warned. You all to mind your manners in Strahd's humble abode, but you clearly didn't listen! And mad disrespect was shown. Tannis propped his feet while Theren stole Strahd's chair. Zielle replaced it with another as she tried to clear the tension in the air.
I forgot I did that.
Vasily came back once more with watered down wine and apps and a bouquet of flowers in a vase, but Tannis wasn't a fan of where it sat. As Vasily departed, Strahd waltzed in shortly after and sat with you all, apologizing for his late arrival. Strahd greeted you all graciously, but seemed irritable at your disrespect. Quiet and kept to yourself, he felt the need to interject. Harsh words quickly flourished between the party and the devil himself as he told you that the threads of fate connected each one of you in his realm. For some had dealt with Cade, a being who granted Strahd his power, but cursed him to live in Barovia forever, watching his lover for hours and hours. Whether Cade had struck a deal or simply pushed you further, he impacted you all, like the curse of the dead brother. For to seal his pact with Cade, Strahd had to kill his brother, whose soul made it back to Barovia, but in the form of another. Tannis witnessed a vision of himself on a wedding day, with a menacing Strahd looming before he dropped the name Sergei. But the lore-heavy episode didn't end there, for Strahd's lover was revealed to be the one with red hair, Irina, though a different name before, whose soul is recycled, cursed to never be Strahd's lover. Tannis made a vow to steal Irina from Strahd once more, before things went dark and a breeze swept across the floor. Extinguishing candles before a familiar black flame illuminated the hall and blood covered the untamed. Zielle was splatters, Tannis's hands drenched, but Theren had blood in a slow descent, for it was dripping down his back, covering his sword. Baron stood beside him as he peered down towards. An empty sleeve, his left arm gone at the elbow, as you were whisked away to a demonic laugh that did bellow. You crashed back to Earth, back in the carriage once more. Was it all real? It had to be. You were full, but back where you were before. And so here we sit, in the blackest of carriage, as the elf jumps down from his seat and finally manages to open the carriage door. You see the campsite down below, as the elf looks to you all. Please watch your step. Take them slow. As he reaches out his hand, knowing that Zielle will be taking it to descend the stairs once more.
She does, without a word, and steps out.
I'm going to follow straight after, but I'm going to make sure that this elf knows that I'm angry, so I stomp down the stairs.
The carriage shakes and rattles on its hinges with each step down the 2 stairs to the floor.
I'd like to grab the edges of my little red cloak that I'm wearing, flick them in that way that sort of insinuates again that you're mad, but you have business to attend to.
With his nose in the air, he looks inside towards Theren, waiting for the carriage to be empty once more.
Theron's looking straight forward, just walking out as he usually does, not taking a hand for aid.
As you all finally exit the carriage, he shuts the door, hops back into his seat, preps the horses, and just slowly trots down the road north. As you see that down below in the campsite, some of the folks that you had met the night previous are stirring awake. Some are making food, entertaining the children, brushing and feeding the horses by the lake. There seems to be some motion down here already this morning.
If I was to watch the carriage until it was out of sight, does it fly or vanish or do anything weird before I can't see it?
It never once leaves the ground while riding down the road.
Well?
Right. So, that happened?
Theren? Did you know Cade's name before?
Not once. I don't even know what to think of that.
So wait, you made a deal with the same person that Strahd has a deal with?
I suppose so. This is all way too new to me.
Well, can you contact him? Can you talk to this person you've made a deal with? Maybe we can use that to our advantage. Maybe sort of play them against each other.
I have heard nothing of him up until this moment. Since the day I made that deal, there has been no contact.
Zielle, what about you? You talked to him. After all, the fortune teller, she seemed to indicate that you were some sort of, I don't know, what, executioner or something?
I didn't see him, I only heard him, I guess. And maybe he controlled me, I don't know really exactly, but I mean, I could try. The only way I could think would be to try to contact him the same way I speak with Suni, but it doesn't feel right.
How do you contact something like that?
I don't know. I also am not so sure that contacting him is the best way to proceed, because if he's got Strahd tied up, what are we going to do? Make more deals with him? That doesn't seem wise.
We can't do anything about Cade, we can't do anything about Strahd, but they can maybe do something about each other. I don't know, I'm just trying to think out loud.
Theren, can you roll me a intelligence or history check? Your choice.
History for 16?
As you all were leaving brunch with Strahd, not by your own will, Strahd erupted in laughter. But that wasn't the only voice you heard. That same low, dark, resonating tone, Zielle recognized that, but you would have been able to piece that together as well. Now, this is not that first time that you've heard that same low, dark, slightly demonic tone to a voice before. You would have heard that back in the house while you were looking at the painting. The voice that said, "It's so good to see you again."
I'm going to keep that to myself for now.
Are you putting that together now, or is that something that Theren would have put together, like, when we were leaving?
Given the conversation, it probably got the wheels turning. You were just coming off of this experience with the laughter in the background. Speaking of hearing Cade or trying to reach out to him in the past, this probably would have clicked with Theren right here, right then.
Is that something that I could clock that there's something going on there, or is that something that is pretty well veiled? Do you think, Theren?
You would definitely see, as we're having this conversation, Theren's just been thinking this whole time. This is the first time that he's had any sort of interaction in years. And that's what he's been searching for half the time, too. So he is focusing, thinking. So you could probably tell just by the look of his face that there's something on his mind, yeah.
Theren, you have something you want to add?
The voice.
What voice?
It's so familiar. Did you not hear?
What voice are you talking about? You thought it was Strahd's voice.
Perhaps he only speaks to some people, like us.
It was like he was there with Strahd.
Oh.
It's as if he shared a voice. And it was that same voice I heard in the painting. And you both didn't hear anything from that painting. Correct?
Not from the painting.
You mean the painting in the house where we were all sort of experiencing bizarre...
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Granted, I did see something in the other painting, but I didn't hear him.
What? What did you see?
You saw something in the painting?
Yes, Theren was the only one there with me. It was in the painting downstairs. I saw my fiancé and myself in a wedding gown that I never wore. But I didn't hear him.
That's right.
Seems as if it's all connected.
And Strahd said he's not controlling the fog, right?
It sounded like it.
I assume it must be Cade, right?
Whoever's controlling that fog is also controlling these things that we're seeing. Right, because you all didn't see the memory. You didn't with the flowers, you didn't see me holding any flowers, right? Correct? No one saw me holding...
Nothing.
No.
I just wish any of this made any sense. I feel like if it did, we could move forward.
He's playing us. He's toying with us right now.
Of course he is, because he can.
He's showing how much control he has.
Of course he is. He's the cat. We're the mouse.
How do we use this towards our advantage? Because right now, I see no avenue for it.
Wait, we do know we have one avenue. Irina. We know we have that. That's a piece of the puzzle that we have. We can use that against him as much as we want.
No, we're not going to use her against him like he's using her. She's her own person. We should talk to her. We should tell her all of it.
We can.
I agree. No, sorry. I wasn't suggesting we, I'm just saying that we have contact with someone who Strahd cares about, and I think that is worth noting down, as it is the only advantage we have at the moment.
Perhaps she can provide some more insight. I don't know. We can tell her what we know now, and you're right, there is Cade. I'm not exactly sure what to do about that quite yet, but it might be something. Perhaps there's more people. I mean, we're going to Vallaki. There might be people who know more, or people who knew the rebellion that fought against him before, or the wizard even, or...
Oh, come on, Zielle. If there was a way that they knew to beat Strahd wouldn't be here. If they had some sort of ace up the sleeve, they would have used it.
That's not what I mean. You compared it to a puzzle, right? You need all the pieces to complete a puzzle. Every piece matters, no matter how small. We've been to one small town and one small encampment, and we know a lot more than we did when we got here. So who's to say we can't learn more?
I mean, but let's face it. I mean, what do we know? We know that we're all apparently fated to be here. I'm cursed. I've been cursed. You understand? I'm not saying that to say that I'm special. You both found out that you're making a deal with the same man who Strahd made a deal with. I mean, doesn't that bother you a little bit? I mean, why does Strahd know so much about us and we know nothing about him? I just found out I'm not even who I thought I was. I mean, I am. But, how did he know that? And I didn't. And he knew who you made a deal with, Theren. Doesn't that bother you? You had no idea. You've been trying to contact him for years, and Strahd just knew, looking at you. And Zielle, off the bat, he knew exactly what had happened to you. Does that not scare you?
We have no idea what he could have been doing in this land this whole time. Who knows how much he has seen through our lives? How old is he? We don't know. How many times has he seen his lover die? We don't know. He could be here for years. It could have just been months. Maybe he's lying. We don't know for sure. This could all be a facade. He could have had people watching us for years, and he planned all of this. We know nothing of him. We need more.
Tannis, you're so quick to dismiss authority. I'm surprised you take this man's word as law. Who's to say he's telling the truth? You're you. I would trust you and what you know of yourself before I would trust this stranger.
I saw it happen. I don't know how he did that. I don't know what it was, but I was there. I was there. I was wearing a suit. When have you ever seen me wear a suit? I was holding flowers.
Magic users have all sorts of abilities. I don't know how, or I don't know how it happened, but I mean, Suni has shown me things, and he showed us those paintings, or Cade did, or whoever.
Right, and I saw a wolf in the house. I understand that was different. This was something real. I'm not afraid of him because he's an authority figure. I'm not afraid of him because he considers himself powerful. If he was just the king of Barovia, I would have stabbed him at the dinner table. But he's not. He's something else entirely. He's got powers we don't really understand. And you're right. I'm a little bit afraid. I think I'm a lot afraid. Aren't you?
Why wouldn't we be?
I'm not.
What? How?
That's the first time I think I've ever looked evil directly in the eyes. He's not so different from the rest of the world, right? The world is cruel and cynical and unfair. It's easy to be molded by that. That's the easy choice, right? I don't care what or who you believe in, but the truth of the matter is, love is an act of rebellion, and I intend to fight. And it's not a bad thing to be afraid. I understand being shaken after that encounter and someone telling you they know who you are. I just choose not to believe it. I think I have a better idea of who both of you are than this man does. I couldn't care less what he thinks. Even if it is true.
Theren?
We don't know. We don't know anything, really. There's a lot of ifs. And in the end, knowledge is key for us. We don't have the upper hand. We don't know what the future brings. So let's fight. Fear can drive us. In this moment, it seems like that's all we have.
No, silly, we have love too. Did you just miss my speech?
And that, I guess.
You can say it. You can say the word. I believe in you.
We have each other. Correct.
And the L word, the one that starts with L. Love. Oh my god, okay. Do you guys remember everything Madame Ava told us? Not the readings part, but like the big reading, the one she did for all of us about Strahd.
No.
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there was multiple cards. There was the illusionist was about a man in a carnival wagon, right? That was something we needed.
Okay.
There was another one where we have to someone who will help. An entertaining man with a monkey. That seems like it's related, right? Wouldn't a carnival and a monkey, like, wouldn't they all be at the same place? And then there was a weapon, right? Of the sword, the sword of sunlight. She said it lies in a dragon's house. The other card, there was 5 cards. There was one that was just about Strahd, right? It was like the devil sits on his throne or whatever. But the other one was about knowledge. That's what we need, right? It was about a dead village that was drowned by a river and ruled by evil. Surely someone must know, maybe even Irina knows what that is, or someone here, or somebody in Vallaki. Any of these things they could have heard about. Surely a carnival can't be too hard to find in this dark and dreary place, right?
Should we go talk to Irina then? A lot of things are pointing to her right now.
I do think we should go talk to Irina.
We should have a conversation about how are we going to tell her about Strahd and her connection. We can't just drop that.
I think I can, since, I guess we were to be married at a certain point, it maybe should be left to me to sort of deliver some of the more hard truths. Leave the talking to me, okay? I don't know that you guys really fully understand the person to person.
Tannis, are you sure we should trust you to be the most delicate regarding this matter?
The thing I worry is she leaves. If we drop something like that on her, she might just leave us.
She needs us.
What if she wants to run?
She's not going to run.
I think we should all talk to her. We're all escorting her. We're all protecting her. We go talk to her as a group. I would suggest that we tell her what Strahd thinks she is, and we frame it that way, because we don't know that it's truth. And it might be wise to leave out the part where you are also supposedly some reincarnation, because she's already running from one strange man.
If we leave those details out, they're going to come up somehow. If we say them now, we're in control of how they come across. If we don't, we're not. Someone else will. And it will probably be Strahd. And he's going to make it seem like we hid that on purpose. And then we're going to be the people who are lying to her. We can't be the people that were lying to her. I already terrified her by turning into a wolf. We have to be honest.
But why would everyone listen to Strahd? Why is what Strahd says true?
Why would he lie?
He might be telling what he thinks is the truth.
What do we know he wants with her?
Love, right? He wants her to fall in love with him as I guess he imagines they were before his deal with Kate.
And yet he is cursed to see her die forever, correct?
Correct.
Why do we protect her? What does he get by having her when he knows he is cursed to never be able to have her?
I think he probably thinks he can break the curse eventually. Don't we all? I mean, isn't that why we're all here? We think we can become something better than what we were before we showed up? Let's at least tell Irina what Strahd said. We can frame it as Strahd told us, so that it's at least leaving room for this might be a lie. But she deserves to know all the information that we have.
Yeah.
And then she can do with it what she wants. If she thinks it's a lie, then she can deal with it accordingly. If she thinks it's true, she can deal with it accordingly. And I think as far as we're concerned, we can make a plan from there and go find our man with a monkey.
Have you guys ever seen a monkey before?
I don't think I have. No, my father was not very big on carnivals. My mother talked about them, though. Have you? Have you seen a monkey?
Only in books.
Theren? Monkey?
I'm gonna be honest. Don't even know what it is.
Oh, we're all in for a treat then, aren't we?
Do you know what a carnival is?
Oh, who?
Listen, it's going to be it's going to be a very fun surprise, I think.
You're gonna like it.
It's very much your vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Blank stare right at you.
That's it. That's what a carnival feels like right there. Take the lead a little bit as I'm marching straight into this camp. I don't think with a full understanding of where Irina is, but trying to find her without making it clear that I don't know where I'm going.
As you waltz down, Irina is actually sat by the fire while everyone is cooking breakfast and getting ready for the day. And hearing the massive footsteps come down the hill towards the camp, she perks up and looks over her shoulder, smacks her knees as she stands up. Finally. Can we go now? Did you have a nice time? I would like to move, please.
Did you eat breakfast?
Yes. I'm full and ready for a day of walking.
Oh, it's gonna be a walk.
Before we start walking anywhere, let's have, I think we should have a conversation without everyone in earshot.
We could do it while we walk, then no one else will hear.
We will be alone on the road, so might as well get a head start on the day and we can chat on the way.
2 birds, 1 stone.
There you go, great.
I like it. Shall we? Do you want food? Anything while you're here?
What kind of food is it?
It's a couple eggs with some sausages burnt over the fire.
Tannis was too busy fuming at brunch, so I don't think he ate as much.
Can I get my breakfast to go, please?
Irina walks over to Araja, the man who welcomed you to the Sarah Pool encampment, speaks with him a moment before he laughs out loud, looking directly at Tannis, walks over to the fire, scoops up some sausages, and places them in a little cloth bag, hands it to Irina. Will this do?
Thank you.
Of course.
I would just say thank you for taking us in.
Araja says his goodbyes to all of you. Very quick interactions from the night before, but it was almost like you were being sent off by a good friend. You can feel the warmth in his voice as he bids you adieu and safe travels.
I'm hugging him goodbye.
Can I go hug the horses that I talked to goodbye?
Oh my god.
They are over by the water as well, so...
The same connection that you guys have with Araja, I have with the horses. So I'm going to walk over to the horses and just give them a hug and then silently walk back to rejoin the group.
Oh, Tannis, for funsies, give me animal handling.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yes!
Part of me kind of hopes it goes terribly. That's a 19.
As you walked up to this horse that you were sat on the ground, crisscross, just throwing pebbles into the lake, spewing your feelings. This horse almost remembers this conversation with you, or at least the downtrodden nature of the air around it, given your presence. It curls its neck into you as you go up and give it a little pat, shakes its head, and goes back to drinking from the lake.
That's the best friend I've ever had. And I'm going to walk back to the group.
And with your goodbyes at the Sarah Pool, you all make your way not up the hill you came, but north, along the road to meet back up by the main road.
Right before we leave, as everybody starts turning around, I'd like to do one thing. Right as everybody starts turning around, heading on the path, Theren holds back just a little bit, not noticeably. One little purple tendril comes from his sword and goes towards the sausages. Just grabs a few. It leads into his pocket, and then he follows everybody.
It almost seemed like an open buffet to these pots and little pans that were set shoddily on the fire. No one makes any note. It's almost natural for them.
Can I leave my book with those kids? If they're around, I wanted to sort of like sneak it onto like a log that they're sitting on. But I want to make sure nobody's looking also. Like nobody's paying attention when I do that. I just want to sort of like...
Hold on. You gotta beat my passive perception then, buddy.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth roll, just for funs. Just in our last little interactions with the Sarah Pool.
That's 15.
Damn, passive perception's 14.
As you depart from the horse, You're making your way, circling around the outskirts of the camp. You cut inward, seeing your friends along the road heading north, getting ready to depart. You see the 3 children that you were telling this captivating story to the night prior, all sitting on a log around the fire, just laughing as they enjoy their meals and talking. Some even mention the story that was brought up as you slip the book sneakily on the log to the very right and pass right by them, gone with the wind. You all are able to head out. You march north, meeting back up with the main road as you continue down the old Svalak road.
I nudge Tannis.
Walk up next to Irina, nervously adjust my cloak, feeling very, very self-conscious. Head over my shoulder, go, I wanted to apologize again. That I turned into a wolf. I know that I'm sorry. I know you've already seen a lot living here, and adding a man turning into a wolf and trying to kill you probably was not necessary to add to the amount of stress that you're already under. And I'm sorry. And I hear you got a couple of good hits in on me, so I wanted to say congratulations for that.
I guess I might be a little sorry that I stabbed you.
I'll take that. That's better than nothing. Maybe one day you'll even be kind of sorry. Who knows? At least I think that it's worth telling that we did have a conversation with Strahd, and that you were mentioned.
That doesn't surprise me, given his obsession with me.
Yes, it seems, in his mind, we're not sure how true this is. What he told us was that he is cursed to watch your soul be reincarnated time and time again, and to never be able to capture your love, but to always watch you die. That to say that I think that whatever infatuation Strahd has with you is not going anywhere anytime soon. He's definitely got his eye on you.
I suppose I'll take that as a good thing, but you said my soul is recycled? What?
Yeah, I don't know that it's true. That's only what Strahd told us. He also told me that I had the soul of his brother, and that my soul was also being recycled, so who knows? In his story, I stole you from him. He killed me. My soul was recycled, cursed to forever kill my brother and be reborn again and again, and I suppose your soul is to be recycled over and over again and to die. It seems rather melodramatic when you say it out loud, doesn't it? This sort of story of Strahd's.
I can't remember any past lives. Any memories of a time before Irina.
And I can't remember anything past Tannis. He showed me a memory, or at least he said it was a memory. I was wearing a suit, if you can imagine it, holding a bouquet of flowers. He was floating in the air above me, laughing, to strike me down. Perhaps it was an illusion, perhaps it was a real memory, I don't know, but I thought it was only fair that you have all the information that we have, and that you can decide how you want to proceed with it. I didn't want you to feel like we were holding information back, no matter how insane it sounds.
Insane is one word for it. I've heard of certain people that believe that souls can't leave Barovia. There's someone in Vallaki who has been spreading nonsense about being reborn and souls being recycled from one body to another. And no one believes him, though. That's nonsense. When you die, you die. That's what makes life so scary here. If what you say is true, I'll choose to take it in a good way. Because then I know that Strahd can never put his hands on me.
Him putting his hands on you is never going to happen.
Ever.
Thank you.
Zielle has been very vocal about the fact that will never happen. As a matter of fact, you would have been proud of her. She said that to Strahd's face.
You did.
I might have threatened to slit his throat.
You looked into those goddamn eyes and said that for me.
Yeah, they're scary, right?
Yeah.
Almost as scary as Zielle is.
What's even scarier is he can turn them off in an instant.
His
What
eyes?
do you mean?
I suppose not his eyes, but that look, that evil, that malice in his eyes. Sometimes I see him and I feel something. It's almost like he's trying to get into my mind.
Manipulating you.
Sure.
What is the something? A connection? A feeling?
You know that feeling when your heart drops? It's that, but it's my entire body. But either way, I thank you all for sticking up for me when I was not even in company.
Well, to be fair, I think it was mostly Zielle. I was, surprising no one. I was a little bit self-absorbed. He managed to get into my head, and, I don't think I made anything better. What I'm trying to say is that if there's anyone in this group you should be thanking for anything, it's Zielle. She's sort of the heart of this group, I think.
If your heart is as vast as your fighting skills, I think we're good. Well, Tannis, since you didn't stick up for me, how about you make me a promise then?
I suppose it's only fair.
Promise me that I'll be able to see you in a suit. Not like that. Don't get any thoughts. Keep the bouquet to yourself. Throw your rings in the fucking river.
Listen, no one's ever accused me of having thoughts, Irina.
He doesn't own any suits, actually.
Oh, God.
Listen, in my defense, I'd say, glaring back at Zielle, the clothes that I did have were quite nice. I didn't realize I was going to turn into a wolf, so I didn't pack an extra pair, unfortunately. I suppose I could find a way, right? There's somebody around here who owns a suit, and I'm sure I could steal one, so...
Vallaki is much larger than the village we come from, or so I've heard. I'm sure there's a shop that we can swing by.
Then I'll buy a suit. And I glare back at Zielle, and I think I'll look rather good in the suit. Thank you very much.
I think we should all get dressed up and go out once we've resolved this little problem. It'll be fun.
Count me in. I could use a night just for some fun.
Theren, have you ever worn a suit?
I think you would look dashing in a suit, Theren.
Don't you just?
Oh.
Look at that face. It would look beautiful framed. I can see it now, the tall collar.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a brown.
A brown would be beautiful. Maybe a navy.
Oh, yeah, we could do navy.
A suit gives no protection. It leaves you soft. Why would I wear that?
Exactly, Theren. It leaves you soft. It's important.
Soft is hot.
If you rely on your armor to fight, you'll go nowhere.
She's kind of right.
This is all I've ever worn.
Theren, listen. This is a different kind of battlefield we're talking about. You fight with a different kind of weapon. Are you following the footprints I'm leaving in the snow here?
Pulls out one of his daggers.
No.
God's
No.
Weapon.
No.
I have other weapons.
No, I'm talking about flirting, Theren. Have you flirted with anyone before?
No need.
What do you mean? They just fall for you instantly?
Oh, tell me how.
I wouldn't doubt that. Look at his face.
What is your secret?
It's gotta be the hair. Should I tie my hair up more? Is that... As she goes to reach for her hair.
No, yours looks lovely down.
It does look rather lovely down.
I said that first.
Okay, all right. You can write that down if you'd like to, Irina. Zielle said it first, just in case we're keeping points for later.
Relations of the romantic manner. It's nothing I seek out. And nothing I need.
Never even thought about it. You know, the fairy tale stories that you hear and about knights and princesses.
I have no time.
Oh, there's always time for love.
There's nowhere I can stay for that. I see no need, no purpose at this time. Until I do what I need to do, that is the last thing I think of.
When Zielle says there's always time for love, I think Tannis is going to just for a minute, there's a flicker. I think his attitude changes a little bit as he sort of sets his jaw. Well, you're right. I mean, Theren, honestly, I think maybe you're right. You know, it's just distraction in regards to your goal. But maybe one day. I do think you'd look dashing in a suit regardless. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I have heard that men have more trouble multitasking, so if you need to do your job first, then focus on that. There's no rush for it.
Love will come.
I'll make you all a deal now. You bring him back, I will wear a suit for you.
If we promise, will you pay up front? What if the situation arises where we need a suit before then? It might take a while, you know.
Blank stare again.
I'll promise, though.
Maybe we should think about the suits later. Let's just go. We're going to Vallaki, right? Let's just focus on that and getting...
I promise, Theren.
Accepted.
As you all are walking, the old Sphalic Road transitions here from being a winding path through a lazy mountain trail. It begins to descend into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake. Its waters dark and still, although a branch in the road leads west, up a small hill. You have Vallaki off in the distance, probably a good couple-hour walk. But to your west, atop this hill, is perched a dilapidated stone windmill. Its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. And can I have history checks or intelligence checks from everybody?
+0 it is.
Hey, 16 again.
My history check was 2.
Accurate.
That's a 9.
Theren, as you peer up the hill, as you continue walking, you remember Tannis flaunting all of this treasure that he procured, one of which being a deed.
Tannis, those goods that you got back at the house,
Yeah, what about them?
you mind bringing them out?
You mean the letter that we found? You took... Oh, you took... And I'm going to hold out there, or at least look at the deed for the windmill, as I'm sort of picking up on what he's laying down.
Theron's gonna look at the papers and try to find a picture of a windmill on any of them.
The deed does indeed have a very rough sketch of a windmill that you can assume to match the one that you are looking on to atop the hill, given this onion dome that it has on top.
I'm going to hold up the deed and with both hands and then move it to look at the windmill very cinematically, and then fold it back up, look at Theren and go, "So you're right, my windmill."
The sketch is almost in better condition than the windmill stands currently.
So it's seen better days, but well, she's not much, but she's mine.
Might have a free place to stay for the night.
Or we could go stay at an inn with beds and food.
You think I have all the money in the world?
If you would like to go find an inn, you can do that, but I want to know what's in my windmill. It's my property. Zielle, you wouldn't understand.
Your stolen property.
Excuse me, what was that? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you. What was that last part you said?
We can go look at it.
Great. For a second there, I thought you were saying something antagonistic, which is so out of character for you.
You're right.
We're taking a detour to look at a windmill.
It's right here, right? It's not that far. I mean, if you'd like to head on to the town, I'll go with you. I will skip the windmill.
It at least will be a backup plan for shelter.
Irina, to be fair to you, this is not just a windmill deed that I found lying on the ground. This was found in a house where we also found a letter from Strahd to the owners of that house in detailing some aspects of his plan. I have to imagine that to some degree, this windmill may bear information as well. I understand that it may seem like a completely arbitrary detour. I'm not checking out the windmill because I love architecture. I do think that there is some use to checking this out.
Leave no stone unturned, I suppose.
There you go, that's the spirit.
After you, I'm not going up there first.
I'll drop back with Irina.
I'll go up first for sure. It's my windmill after all.
Please, give us the grand tour.
Well, please, thank you. Welcome.
Should we call you Mr. Windmill?
Only on formal occasions.
As you waltz up the hill, the onion-domed edifice leans forward and to one side, almost as though it's trying to turn away from the stormy gray sky above. You see gray brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors. A decrepit wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior.
This is a massive windmill. I didn't realize I made them this big. Yeah.
Irina's too focused on you and looking at the two of you in front.
As she's about to look at the windmill, I just like hold the deed up and go, can you believe that's hand-cut pine? Man, that's incredible.
Can you get that out of my face, please?
I'm so sorry. I thought that was...
I've seen the windmill.
Well, you don't have to say it like that. You could, be kind. This is my windmill after all.
It's like when you're looking at a painting when you could be looking at the subject of the painting. Life is a lot more beautiful. Things in real life are more beautiful than something on a stupid paper.
Well, that's a subjective opinion, isn't it, Irina? I think sometimes it's very important to look at the painting because the artist always has a different point of view than life does, doesn't it?
No, Irina, I think what he's saying is this was before it had all those holes in it and it was like falling apart.
I get it.
Yeah.
He's trying to make it seem bigger and nicer than it actually is.
Yeah,
Wow.
he wants you to know how
Okay.
big his windmill is.
Okay.
But in real life, it's much more disappointing.
Irina and Zielle are not allowed inside the windmill. That is my property. If you step foot inside the windmill, I will use my property right of self-defense. You will be trespassing.
Why would you assume we want to go in your windmill?
You can't. You don't have the choice.
Tannis, I will say, there are faint lights coming from the first floor, though very dim through the dust covering the windows itself. You can see the flickering of a candle, though it is very pixelated given the dust upon the window.
As we get close, I will turn back and be like, Irina, Zielle, this is as close as you can get. Thank you so much. Theren, if you would like to continue, you may. I will continue in to check out my windmill.
I don't mind staying outside.
Boys in their windmills.
I don't take a moment. I think I just stride right in the door.
Tannis, as you reach for the door handle, it doesn't turn. You almost rip the door off of its hinges as it creaks and wobbles, trying to even get it into an open position for you to walk through. On this ground floor, you can see that it has been converted into a makeshift kitchen. A large brick oven takes up most of one of the sides of the room. The oven is currently emitting warmth, and you can smell something sweet baking inside of it. Surrounding the oven, on some shelves, are several jars of condiments and ingredients. There's a couple rubbish bins filled with some discarded bones, rotten fruit, and bits of excess dough. Baskets and old dishware are piled everywhere. In the corner is a large barrel filled with a steaming liquid, and opposite the oven is a large trunk with holes drilled into the top of the lid. You can see a crumbling staircase that ascends the wall across from you as you see a woman standing in front of the oven as she screams out, "Mother, is that you?"
No. My name is Tannis. This is, legally my windmill. Who are you?
She turns around in a panic. You see a woman in her late 50s. She has light gray, scraggly hair that's currently tied up in a rat's nest of a bun with wrinkles adorning her round face, wearing torn linens and a flour-covered apron. There is currently sweat dripping down the sides of her cheeks as she's clearly been hard at work. Excuse me? What is it that you're here to kick out an old woman from a windmill?
Yep, this is ours.
It's true, yes.
But who gave you the right? This has been abandoned for centuries.
I hold up the deed as though it's like a battle trophy. Like, so seriously, I hold up the deed. Legally, this is now our property, and by being here, you are trespassing. So in the name of the law, you are required to leave. Oh, I should add, what did you say your name was? I didn't catch that. It would be rude of me not to ask.
Bella.
Bella. Great to meet you. I'm Tannis, as I said. This is Theren. But yes, you do have to leave.
I'm in shock. But can I at least stay until my mother gets here? She went to the village of Barovia to sell pies and hasn't come back yet. Should be here in a day or so.
Too long.
Oh, maybe she'll be here sooner. I don't know. I don't know when she left. She usually stays there for a day or two.
Is she outside?
You tell me, you came out there.
I've got my arms crossed as Theren is like my attack dog at the moment, so I just sort of stand there as though Theren works for me.
I can exchange goods for... You really want this shoddy thing? I'll give you gold, pies, equipment.
Seeing as all goods in here is ours, I suppose you have no goods to give us, do you?
I don't think that's true.
No, legally speaking, it's true.
Squatters' rights.
Are you about to claim squatters' rights with me? I don't know that that's the wisest decision that you could make right now. Although I should ask you, actually, what possessed you to take this windmill in the first place? How long have you been here?
Oh, a few years. Mother started the business up and I'm the main baker. It's just sometimes when we need things ground up, it helps to have the windmill.
And it's just the two of you.
As far as I know, maybe some rats, but don't tell the customers. They wouldn't like it. We're supposed to be selling sweet pies, and if they know that there are rats, they don't need to know where it comes from. They just need to enjoy the fruit, you know? No rats in fruit.
Well, Bella, that does seem like quite the operation you've got going on. I would hate for all of your customers to find out that you've got rats running around in your fruit pies. So, maybe we make ourselves a deal here. Maybe we let you operate your illegal pie ring out of my windmill.
How do I know you didn't just draw up that paper?
I hand it over for inspection. This thing is airtight.
She snatches it. Oh shit, this has been dry for quite a while. Fine! Name your price.
Here's what I'm thinking, Bella. I'm not a man beyond reasonability, right?
Yes.
How much money are you making in this pie selling operation?
When Mother gets home, I can let you know, but usually it's a gold a pie.
And how many pies do you normally sell?
2 to 3 dozen per trip.
2 to 3 dozen. So we're talking somewhere around 36 gold, typically.
Plus tips.
Plus tips. So we're saying probably around 50 gold.
Give or take.
So we're saying how many times are you making these trips? Every week?
Roughly. Whenever Mother feels the strength to go there.
So what we're saying is that you're making about 200 gold a month.
Are you about to charge me rent?
You're so clever, aren't you, Bella? So what I'm thinking is, we take a cut off the top of your operation. You are, after all, using our building, and without me giving you the building that I legally own, you cannot have your pie running operation, right?
I suppose you're right.
While they're making this deal, Theron's going outside to the ladies hanging out in front of the door. Hey, we need some help kicking an old lady out of a house here. If you could come in real quick.
What?
You just hear softly in the background. So that's 27%, right? You see how that makes sense.
Oh my god, okay.
Mr. Windmill owner is trying to somehow come up with a deal to, I don't know, make some money from this, but at the same time, he doesn't realize there's no way of actually coming back and getting this money every month unless he wants to travel through the entirety of Barovia every month. So if we want to keep this place, we kick her out. We put her on the street. She's gone, so she's done.
But what you're saying is he's trying to make a deal for rent that he'll never come back to collect, so we should just let him continue because he's never gonna get the money.
Yeah.
Is he outsmarting himself in there? Interesting take on it.
I'm gonna stay out here.
I'll stay as well.
So you might be wondering, how is it that we're going to collect this rent, right? Because we're not staying in the windmill with you. You have a mobile operation, don't you? Your grandmother goes wherever she needs to go to sell pies.
Correct.
How does she determine where she's going to go?
Well, she usually just goes to the same village. Repeat customers are how we stay up in business.
I see.
But I suppose it is time to expand. Hit some new locations.
I don't know if you'd thought about selling your pies in Vallaki.
Oh, Vallaki. Mother has a friend in Vallaki. One moment. She goes and fumbles through drawers. Whether it's cutlery flying out or different spices, everything is a mess as she is rummaging through her goods. She pulls out an envelope. Speaking of, are you going there right now?
Yes, we were actually planning to go to Vallaki.
Can I leave this with you? You and your friend seem quite, hearty, strong. Could you look in on a friend of Mother's for me?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
This letter came back. Returned to sender, you know. I feel it was never received. If you wouldn't mind looking into the matter. I haven't brought this up with Mother yet. I don't want her to worry.
Right.
As she hands over the letter to you.
Well, suppose we can make that happen. I do think, unfortunately, I'm going to have to collect your rent while I'm here. So, let's see what's fair. I imagine 50 gold would be fair enough for rent for the entire month. You keep 150, we take 50 off the top. We both win.
Mother isn't back yet with the Prophet. I can exchange equipment.
Well then please, by all means, show me what you have.
Of course. She begins to run up the stairs. You can hear her feet click and clack on each wooden stair as she spirals up the staircase.
I'll follow because I know that no one else is in here, and so I'm just going to sort of like take off and tell no one what I'm doing.
As she hears you following up the stairs, no, she turns around and puts a finger up.
I freeze mid-stair.
Please stay down here. I don't want you to see how old ladies live, you know.
This is my window.
It's a mess in here. Mother would hate it if she saw the mess that we had left and guests had shown up for the first time in God knows how long.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
23.
You can tell that she was almost flustered. She didn't tell you to stay downstairs because she didn't think you would follow. Startling her by following up the stairs put her in a bit of a shock and had to think on her feet.
Do I get the sense that she's lying about what's upstairs, or do I get the sense that she's being truthful, that she doesn't want me to see the mess, and that was not expecting me to follow?
There is a mess. I mean, these stairs aren't too high. You would be able to even peek your head in to the second floor, where you see, again, these dirt-caked windows that allow very little light in, but you can see this is the mill. You can see a large millstone connected to the wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling, the dead center of the windmill. You can see this is where they would grind up the materials. So you have a lever that you would push the grindstone around, get your ingredients all prepped for putting in the pie. But she does not want you to continue upwards.
I will go back down the stairs.
As she heads upstairs, you can hear some rifling through a chest. You can hear clothing being thrown onto the ground, just these soft impacts of cloth. As she descends, I have this. I've found some jewelry. You might be able to sell it. I don't know how big you are into gems. Vallaki will surely have some sort of general store that you might be able to sell these.
I take them. What does it look like?
They are these small little purple gems, but you would assume if you sold these, they might be around 25 gold each. And she handed you 3 of them.
Perfect. I'll put that in my satchel, and I'll look back at her. I think that's more than fair.
Perfect. If I send Mother to Vallaki, where will you be?
Is there more than one inn and tavern in Vallaki, or is there just sort of a one?
I believe there's just the one. The Blue Water Inn.
The Blue Water Inn. Perfect. Then that's where she'll be able to find us, because we will not be housing with the locals. Come deliver the rent, and then we can discuss the letter, and we'll look in on your friend.
Can I offer you some pies or anything for your travels, at least? For not kicking me out on the spot.
You are so kind, Bella. I would love a pie.
I have maple walnut, potato, or a wolf pie coming out of the oven. I know it sounds weird if you haven't had it before, but I promise, it's scrumptious and savory.
I'm going to pass on the wolf pie.
Why does everyone always pass on the wolf pie?
Not for the reasons that you might imagine. However, the maple walnut pie does sound good. Let's do that.
She goes over to the oven. This one was already done. I was just keeping it warm. Is one enough?
One is perfect. One is absolutely perfect. Thank you so much. Listen, Bella, thank you immensely for your hospitality and for your professional understanding. And we will see your grandmother at the Blue Water Inn. and I will take my walnut pie back out to join the group, and I'll be like, right, so, that's settled. Would you guys like to go into Vallaki, or,
Oh, are we not staying? Irina perks up. I thought you wanted to show me your windmill.
Very funny, Irina. I appreciate that humor. No, we are going to stay in the Blue Water Inn in Vallaki.
Sounds lovely, actually.
Me and Bella had a good talk.
Oh, Bella, a new lover already. That was quick.
You know me, Irina. Just hop from one to the other, but Bella, unfortunately, is just a very kind old lady who makes pies. She is very sweet, and, unfortunately she had nothing of note to give us other than this letter, which I will hang on to because it was entrusted to me. I think we should just head into Vallaki.
That's fine. The quicker we get there, the better, honestly.
Do all the ladies send you out the door after they see how big your windmill actually is?
I knew I liked you.
Theren, what was it you said you had experience in? Was it romance? Did you have romantic experience that you'd like to share with the group? No?
Dead stare again.
No romantic experience? That's right.
Zielle just like bent over laughing.
So no one has any idea what your windmill does. Terrific. We don't even know if your windmill works, do we? Great. So let's go into Vallaki.
She's just like smacking like Irina's arm, like laughing.
Irina is hand over her mouth, just like forehead against your shoulder, trying to keep it in as little...
I'm not keeping it.
Oh, okay. Enough jokes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's enough windmill jokes.
Shall we, please? Leave this windmill behind. I don't want to look at it anymore, please. We can look at it in your paper, your deed. Let's go.
I'm sorry, who found out where we were staying in Vallaki? Can we just show of hands who figured that out? Not you. Was it Irina? That's incredible.
Oh, good. You found an inn in a city. So proud.
Yes, and a connection. Did you?
If it came to me, we would have had a free place to stay, but now we have to pay, don't we?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, you were going to kick Bella out. You were just going to kick Bella out of the windmill and we could stay in that. I let Bella stay in the windmill because, of course I did. Very kind like that.
I see no issue with my route.
You were going to kick Bella out. She lived in the windmill. Where was she going to go?
It wasn't hers.
Right, it was mine.
Is.
It is mine. You know what? I think we're hopping too long in the windmill. I think that we should just be, sort of happy that we found it and that we were able to get some information.
I think it was worth the morale alone.
I do feel better.
Perfect. So let's go into Vallaki now that we've got our morales high. I will be keeping this pie for myself, and I will,
You're not even gonna share.
That's rude.
I don't know. I suppose if someone said please, I might be inclined to share, but otherwise, I think I might have to keep it for myself.
All right, it's all yours then.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Irina. I figured it might be.
Not worth it.
I know, it's such a tough word to say, isn't it, for you?
Theron's gonna go over to Zielle and whisper in her ear. Seems like a lot of small windmill energy over here.
Oh my god.
Can I roll perception since I have advantage on hearing-based perception checks?
Give me a stealth versus perception.
23?
Oh my god. No, I had a 17.
You hear the... And then the... from Zielle. But nothing discernible to your ear.
My eyes narrow as I lift some of the pie to my mouth to take a bite, and I'm sort of like, something's amiss here, but then I just take a bite of this amazing maple walnut pie, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with this deal.
It is delectable, sweet, sugary, everything you could have hoped for from a maple walnut pie, buttery crust and all as it melts in your mouth.
Bella, you did it again.
As you guys continue down the old Sphalic road, as it begins to meander into a valley, watched over by these dark, brooding mountains to the north and south, the woods begin to recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog pressed up against these walls, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates after roughly an hour or two of walking from the windmill. You see a pair of shadowy figures standing behind these gates. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates, however, are a half dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled onto them.
I'm like licking my fingers as I start to realize, are those wolves' heads on their pikes?
I told you they keep things secure.
Maybe I might stay in the windmill after all, if it's all the same.
It's a few more feet to the gates and we're inside the city. You're gonna march another 2 hours back just to avoid some dead wolves? The wolves are outside, not inside. It's a scare tactic, I would assume.
Seems like they're not rather fond of wolves. And since I'm not 100% sure when I will be in a wolf-like form. But you know what? I'm overthinking this. Let's just go. Let's just go into the city. Sorry, I didn't mean to overthink that.
Don't think of it as specific to this town. I mean, any town, if they were besieged by wolves, they would defend themselves. It's just a coincidence. It's not that big a deal. You'll be fine.
Just stay calm. If there's anything we can do to assist in that, please let us know.
Just remember, you have a windmill.
Yeah.
What did I have, right?
As you approach these iron gates, these figures come into sight. And one speaks out to you. Yeah, what can I do for you? A little late, ain't it?
Yes, that's why we were seeking a place to stay. We were on our way here.
We're looking for shelter, like she says.
It went slower. The trip from Serpol was a little slower than we expected.
Ran into a little bit of trouble, but we've made it.
What does the name Strahd do to you?
Don't like it.
Good start. Keep talking.
He says Strahd. Theron's eyes start to get a little bit brighter. A little more stern face.
They're not big talkers, but they don't like him either.
Good. We tend to keep to ourselves around here, so not big talkers are A-okay in my book. We just need to make sure that this place is safe. If you have no relations with the devil and you're looking for a place to stay, I suppose we can open the gates.
Beautiful. And if there should be any trouble of any sort, not that there would be, we are more than happy to lend a hand. We're all proficient combatants. Should the need arise, we can help.
I'll take note of that. Let the burgomaster know. All right, let him in. Be quick about it. We don't want to interrupt the parade. And for today, that's a wrap.
We get to have a party?
I should have stayed at the windmill.
Thank you all so much for listening. We hope you will join us again in 2 weeks to check out the parade that is going on in Vallaki. Who knows what this nighttime celebration will bring. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Can't wait to party.
You guys don't have windmills.